Stop prospecting and start attracting. Today we're going to show you how. Stay tuned. This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. How many homes are you going to sell this year? Do you have the right tools? Is your website turning soft leads into interested buyers? Are you spending money on leads that aren't converting? Well, Real Geeks is your solution. Find out why agents across the country choose Real Geeks as their technology partner. Real Geeks was created by an agent for agents. They pride themselves on delivering a sales and marketing solution so that you can easily generate more business. Their agent websites are fast and built for lead conversion with a smooth search experience for your visitors. Real Geeks also includes an easy-to-use agent CRM. So once a lead signs up on your website, you can track their interest and have great follow-up conversations. Real Geeks is loaded with a ton of marketing tools to nurture your leads and increase brand awareness. Visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod and find out why realtors come to Real Geeks to generate more business. Again, visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod. And now, onto our show. This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Apply Design. Welcome to a revolution in real estate presentation brought to you by Apply Design, the leading virtual staging solution tailored for forward-thinking realtors. Now, in today's fast-paced market, making a lasting impression is everything. With Apply Design, you unlock the full potential of every listing, transforming empty spaces into stunning, buyer-attracting homes, all with just a few clicks and in just a few minutes. Choose their DIY staging, available for as low as $7 per image, or save time with their auto staging feature for as low as $10.50 per image. Plus, experience their service firsthand with a trial image absolutely free. Their intuitive platform empowers you to bring visions to life, ensuring your listings stand out, captivate, and sell. And for listeners of Keeping It Real, Apply Design is offering an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Simply use the code REAL24, that's REAL24, at checkout. Elevate your listings, enchant your clients, and achieve faster sales with Apply Design. Don't let your properties blend in. Make them shine with Apply Design. Your success story starts now. Visit them at applydesign.io. Again, that's applydesign.io. Remember, your first impression is the only impression. And now, onto the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I'm your guide and host through the show, and we're going to be speaking in just a moment to my guest, Sheila Austin, about wellness real estate. What is that? But before we get to Sheila, just a couple of quick reminders. First of all, if you're new to the show, welcome. We appreciate you and hope that you find our episodes really helpful for your business. If you're a returning listener, thank you, double thanks, and please continue to listen. Let us know what we can do to improve the show, and also tell a friend about the show. And last thing I'll ask, if everybody out there could just take 1 minute, leave us a review on whatever podcast app you might be listening to us on. That really helps the show out, gets us in front of more ears. So thank you to everyone. Also, check out our sponsors. They keep the bills paid for us, so please check them out. We love our sponsors, and we also, of course, love all the listeners. So let's get right to it. My conversation with Sheila Austin. Today on the show, we have Sheila Austin from Healthy Home Media. Let me tell you more about Sheila. So Sheila Austin is a trailblazer in the real estate industry. Now, she has walked the agent path, but ultimately understands the challenges of lead generation and the struggle to differentiate oneself in a crowded market where everyone sounds the same. But here's the exciting twist. Sheila has discovered a unique approach to leverage her skills and, more importantly, has empowered agents nationwide to do the same. Now, in this episode, she unravels the secrets. Now, brace yourself for a transformative experience as Sheila reveals how you can shift from chasing leads to effortlessly attracting leads. The key, demonstrating genuine care for your clients. By the way, something we have been saying for years and years. So we are so excited Sheila is with us. But by leveraging a little known industry growing trend like crazy that you probably don't know. So I know that got jumbled up at the end there, but we're going to talk about something that is a growing trend that real estate agents need to jump on immediately to really help their marketing, attract more clients. We're going to discuss that in just a moment. So if you are intrigued, stay tuned and join us as Sheila unveils the art of flipping the script on lead generation. Please follow Sheila at her website, which is healthyhomemedia.com. My apologies. Okay. Sheila was helping me out there because I had just closed the tab by accident. Healthyhomemedia.com. And also, please follow her on Instagram, which is Wellness Agents, and on Facebook, Healthy Home Media. We will have links to all of that in the show notes. So you don't even have to listen to what I said, but we're going to please click through and check out because what Sheila's offering is very, very cool. Sheila, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. And happy New Year.
Excited to have you because this is a topic that we haven't even announced the topic yet, but it's a topic I've never heard of. So, I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never heard of it in relation to this industry. So I am, as a marketer, somebody who is very excited to chat with you. But before we get to kind of what we're here to discuss, let's talk a little bit about your journey. Our audience always likes to know, sort of how our guests have progressed in their career, why real estate, how they got in. And I know you were an agent. So can you tell us about that journey for you from, being an agent to then, switching, pivoting to really helping agents with their marketing?
Yeah, well, sure. I became an agent in 2018, and I guess a lot like other people, it was kind of a second career for me. I was a stay-at-home mom, and my kids were getting older. And before in my business life, I had been in marketing. I'd studied marketing, but I had also done a lot of interior design, and I had become a certified health coach, but for some reason, I didn't want to be a health coach. And my husband and I had flipped a lot of homes. And so I've always just had this passion for real estate. So I thought I'll become a realtor and maybe I can combine some sort of, interior design with that or do some staging. And I really wanted to not waste my health coaching background. I thought, gosh, there's got to be a way to integrate healthy something. How can I do that? And I just stumbled upon wellness real estate. And it was a term I hadn't heard before. And I thought, what is this? Why is nobody talking about this? And then I found NAR's green sort of designee. And so I, got my designation and I was like ready to tell everybody about how I was this wellness agent. And people were like, what are you talking about? What is this? And so I just kept deep diving into this. And I thought, okay, this is something, it's just maybe too far out there. I'm just going to keep plugging along, but maybe my stitch will be, interior design and that. And I just found that, gosh, I was living in a luxury market and being an agent in a luxury market. I mean, I have a lot of affluent friends, but I didn't want them to feel like, they were practicing with me, right? Like they're going to want to hire the best agent in the area. Why would they hire me even if they're friends? And I didn't want to pressure them. I wanted to provide value first. So of course I worked for a top broker. I worked on a team and I did do some great sales. And, but what I found was that it's just being a new agent. And even my friends who had been agents for a really long time, this whole lead generation was really a pain point for a lot of people because you know that you are great with clients, that you can walk them through the transaction great, but how do you talk about your business with people without having them, run away? Because if it's just literally how's the market and, and talking about interest rates, I don't know, everybody's friends with 10 agents, right? So if you're saying the same thing everybody else is saying, they're just, I don't know. I just have so many friends who became secret agents. They wouldn't talk about their business at all. And that's not how you grow your business, right? So in the back of my mind, I was learning all of these things. Meanwhile, I was diving deep into wellness real estate, and we'll get into what that is. But I just thought, well, I'll create something that will differentiate myself. And I ended up sharing with sharing it with tons of realtors, and they loved it so much that I realized that's my true passion. So even though at the time I was making a little bit more money, or a lot more money selling real estate, I thought, well, this is going to make a bigger impact, and I'm going to be able to help more people this way. So that's my journey.
And you're kind of at the forefront of the wellness movement with respect to real estate. So I just want to recap a little of what you said, just to make sure our audience is on board, because this is new to me. This is even relatively new to Sheila, although she's been doing this for a while. But we want to make sure everybody has a good awareness. So here's the problem we're solving for. So the problem is, as a realtor, as Sheila said so elegantly, everybody knows 10 realtors. And in fact, they probably one in every family, just about, or extended family at least. So not only are you competing with all the other bozos that your friends know who sell real estate, but also potentially realtors in your own family. And also, yeah, what are the questions that agents get when they're at a cocktail party and someone introduces themselves and finds out you're a realtor? Well, yeah, just like you said, what's going on with interest rates? What about inventory? Basically, what's going on with the market is what people hear. Agents get that question a lot. And so what we want to do is really arm you with something that would really differentiate you from essentially all the other agents in your marketplace by actually providing value to your prospects and your clients. And Sheila's stumbled across, it's kind of, I'm like a little bit jealous because I'm like, I should have come up with this idea. It's actually it really, I'm actually like a little mad at Sheila that
it's okay. You can promote it too. Like, it's all right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And by the way, we do have a special code. We have a coupon code for we'll share with you towards the end of the show, where you can actually take advantage of this opportunity. Guys, I really do think it's a no-brainer. It's very cool. But let's just dive right into it. What are we talking about?
Well, you mentioned something that I thought of, and is when you're at a cocktail party and people say, "What do you do for a living?" And if someone says, "I'm a realtor," that is the worst thing that you can say to
it's people. Like insurance agent.
Yeah. You know why? It's because they just, whatever they think about realtors, they dump you into that box.
Of course.
Now you are one of them. So if they don't like realtors, they probably, they're going to dump you in that.
I have a friend who is a luxury car salesperson, and he does not say I sell cars because he doesn't want to be lumped in with, not every car salesman or car salesmen just in general maybe don't have always have great reputations. And I'm not in any way being disparaging to that industry. I love car salesmen. We just know that how people think about them. So he says ideal in luxury auto. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. What does that mean? And he does. And he really does. He's like, well, ideal in Bentleys and whatever the fancy cars are. He doesn't say I sell cars because nobody really wants to talk to a car salesman.
Right.
So, but if you're talking about luxury, ooh, what's a Bentley like? That
well,
sort of thing.
He's creating curiosity, and that's the whole point. When someone asks you what you do for a living, you need to say something that creates curiosity. And that's usually either leading with the problem or being a little vague with what that is, where people are like, oh, what's that? So don't say that you're a realtor. What you're going to learn from me is that you need to leverage this growing trend that we just mentioned, which is wellness real estate. And so maybe before I tell you how to do that,
Let's define it.
Let me tell you what wellness real estate is. Well, so I don't know if you've heard of the Global Wellness Institute. They are the ones who track this wellness growing trend around the globe. And they have identified wellness real estate as a pretty large segment that's already $275 billion. And it's projected to grow to be 870 or 850 billion by 2027. Like, it's growing like gangbusters. And what it is it's forward-thinking developers who are building communities, residential communities that are centered on wellness. So it's not just let's add a pool or community center and build this and say that you can have, this great luxury lifestyle. It's not that. It's I'm intentionally building this community to support healthier living. And how can I do that? How can I bring people together? How can I get them motivated to go on walks? How can I get them eating better food? How can I bring more natural light into their home? How can I use energy efficient building practices to make the home more safe and and bring more fresh air in, bring more natural light in? All of these things are things that developers are thinking, even before they're building anything, during the planning stage. And that's what makes the difference. And you're seeing these communities pop up kind of all over the globe, really, but there's so many that are coming all over the country, and it's pretty exciting. There's communities called agrihoods that are centered on an organic farm. And so that's kind of like farm to table living. And I'm here in San Diego, and there's one being built in Encinitas, which is just a mile from the beach. So it's not like you have to be out in the country to live on a farm and they're going to have a 5 or 6 acre regenerative farm. They're going to have a local brewery on site that actually uses the local produce. They're going to have farm fresh eggs, I think, and they're going to have a coffee bar that uses the beans roasted or that they're growing on site. And they're going to have edible walking trails, and they're going to have green space for music festivals. And so you can have this walkable community that's pretty much in the suburbs, that's really normally a car dependent area. And it's offering just a different kind of way of living for people, so that they have another option to just be healthier, which is awesome, I think.
Yeah, I think, the wellness trend, certainly millennials have embraced, and even younger generations. Of course, we understand the importance of physical well-being, mental well-being, etc. And, although we Americans, I think I just saw this statistic, it's very depressing. It was like 70% of Americans are overweight. So I'm not here to address why that's, of course, there's a lot of factors of why that is. But the point I'm making is, overweight people are also thinking about their health and what they can do to correct it. Now, correcting one's health is not the easiest thing, but it is something that is in the zeitgeist. We are constantly, it's a huge industry, wellness, taking care of oneself, getting in better shape, and having the environment around you to help support that. So I'm a big fan. So keep telling us more about how do realtors fit into this wellness
so that's
real
the
estate?
thing, is like, here's this trend, developers are building this stuff and nobody's talking about it, right? And so and then you also have all of these other small businesses that are coming up with like no VOC carpeting and got certified fabrics and all of this stuff that's kind of healthier options. And then I think with the pandemic and people being stuck at home, they're really realizing how their environment is. And that's why, people moved around a lot. But you can get sick from your home environment. So there's all of this stuff swirling around. And I thought, gosh, why aren't realtors talking about this? We are the ones in people's homes. We are the ones who are recommending contractors. We're the ones that during home inspections are making people feel okay about remediating mold or being scared about it. We are the ones that are kind of guiding them to find a home that checks these boxes, right? But why couldn't we be the ones that also, connect them with healthy home professionals and help, not be the healthy home expert, but let them know that it's an option so that they can make some better informed choices that are going to empower people to live in an environment that supports healthier living. And when I first started this, I thought that you needed to become a wellness agent. And really, I have my magazine that I created has been around for 3 years. And the agents who have found me first are the ones who are trying to do that. But what I've learned is that wellness real estate really is just a bridge to have more conversations about real estate, because it's not how's the market, how are interest rates. It's like, this is a new and exciting trend. Let me tell you about it. And here's the magic words that I teach all my agents. So not everyone can live in these wellness lifestyle communities, but everyone deserves to live in a healthy home. So what I teach my agents to do is connect with these healthy home professionals in your area. Go find them, because most agents don't know about them. Most agents just have their title, lending, a few contractors who can do stuff at the home.
Inspector, attorney.
That's your list. If you have a long list of past clients that have small businesses, you might refer to them, but you don't have, who's the EMF person, who's the air quality tester, who's the water filtration expert, who's the, the green appraiser. There's a long list of color psychologists, eco designers, wellness architects, biophilic designers. There's lots of people that are experts in the home environment that if you just connected with these people and started talking about them on your Instagram page and just shared, I care about you. I want you to live in a healthy home. Let me be your connector for everything home. I'm expanding my knowledge and network, and that's what I want to be for you.
I love all of
Yeah.
that. So basically, you're at a cocktail party. What I would say, based on what you told me, and my head was swirling. A lot of the things you mentioned, by the way, I don't even know what those are, and now I'm getting excited to learn about color
Yeah.
and well, this reminds me too of people get very confused about, and they should be confused. Like, let's just talk about solar for 1 second. So solar is an interesting industry, and I'm not here to cast any aspersions on the industry or be pejorative towards them, but it is very confusing. If you want solar, just call 3 different companies and give you quotes, and you will get 3 wildly different quotes, most likely, and you will be more confused than ever. So people are checking this stuff out. They want to know their air quality inside their home. They want to understand, what sort of harmful things might be there, and how to increase their overall health inside of the home, so, and outside the home. So if I was at a cocktail party and someone said, "Hey, what do you do?" Say, "Hey, I'm a realtor. And you know what I'm really into right now? I'm becoming really fascinated by this growing trend called wellness real estate. Let me just give you let me tell you what it is, because it's really cool." And then you just mention a couple of data points like you had mentioned, and say, what I like to do is obviously, yes, I help people buy and sell homes, but I really want to help connect them with professionals who can help make that home as healthy as possible, because you're probably thinking about this stuff anyway, and nobody really knows who to trust and how to do it. So I've got all these connections, and I don't want to just sell you a home. Anyone can do that. I want to actually sell you a home where you thrive and it feels, really healthy for
And
you.
isn't that
I'm rambling,
yeah,
but some
isn't
version
that
of that.
so much better? I mean, the one liner I teach my
So much
agents
better.
to say is really just to start with the problem and say, you know how so many people are realizing that the home environment matters and that there are toxins that are coming into our home. I don't know if you know that, but like, you can create a home that supports healthier living. And so I am a real estate agent, and I am a wellness focused real estate agent. I really just want to give goodwill and share how to create a healthier home. So I'm expanding my knowledge and network to include these healthy home professionals so that I can be your connector for everything home, because I believe that everyone deserves to live in a healthy home. And then people are like, what? And tell me more. Can I follow you? Like, yeah.
Yes. So I see this being, as you said, you can really use this in a number of areas. Number one, you could reach out to all your existing clients that you've helped sell homes for. Say, "Hey, if I've been studying this new thing. I have this network of people that I want to introduce you to. If you're feeling like the home could use a wellness upgrade, and there's ways to do that. You can also, as you mentioned, post video content as you learn about this. This could be your part of your
Value-added
your
content, right, that you're doing.
value-added content. And then also, you can use this again when you're talking to prospective new clients. So to me, this would be a absolutely wonderful way to really differentiate yourself. Now, let's talk about the magazine, because there is a physical or a digital component to this that you have put together. So talk us through what you provide for agents and how they can utilize this service.
Okay. Well, so if you're just talking about wellness real estate, I feel like, it can, at first it can be like, what is this? Sure, you have a great conversation, but how are you actually helping people? And how can you do this without, adding more work to your plate? Because I understand how agents are already really busy, right? And so I created this magazine, and at first it was called Wellness Real Estate Magazine. Now I have 3 different covers to choose from that are all the same magazine, but one is Healthy Home and one is Wellness at Home. So it's a branded magazine that's branded to you. So you can join my digital membership and you'll get the digital magazine every month. It's not like any other, generic magazine that you get to brand. It literally is written by healthy home experts. So I have a biophilic designer. I have a wellness architect who writes monthly. I have a building biology expert who's also a home inspector, and she writes monthly. I have the Green Building Design Center who will write occasionally, and I have a organizer, and I also have a celebrity chef that's out. There's always a recipe in there, and she specializes in allergen-free foods. And so I just feel like it's a really unique piece of content that you get to share, that you can feel proud of saying, hey, let me share this with you because everything that's inside here is going to help you live healthier. And they're going to learn something for sure that they, haven't seen before, haven't learned about, and they'll look forward to getting your content. So if you join the digital membership, you get a branded mobile feed issue, and then you get a digital unbranded flip book that you can share, and you can embed it on your website to drive traffic there. And then for $25 more, you get a whole bunch of social media stuff that I create. I create reels that have prompts so that you can, you can personally read what I say. And everything that I talk about is about, how to create a healthier home. And it's meant to be value added content to kind of add on to your local real estate content so that you have more of a well-rounded, social media feed and marketing campaign. And then I also now have direct mail. So you can actually get a physical copy. You can farm your local neighborhood. You can promote your business partners or your healthy home professionals that you find in there. So I have lots of ways that you can even print these magazines out and have them at events and that are going to differentiate you. And I have a good story to tell you about that too.
So what we're talking about is a solution. So we think about providing great value added content to our prospect list, our sphere of influence. If we think about other realtors for a second, what are they sending out as far as content on a regular basis?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be market updates. It's, here's what's going on in your neighborhood. All of that stuff is great. Does it differentiate yourself from other agents? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, there's a lot of that already floating around out there. In fact, a lot of brokerages do it for their agents.
Mm-hmm.
So, you may, those people might be getting a lot of those emails every month. But are they getting anything about wellness and real estate? Almost certainly not.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opportunity to not have to put that information together yourself as the agent. You can lean on Sheila, and Sheila's got a team that writes, puts and edits this publication, which can be in a digital format or even a printable format. So she's got different pricing for both. You can, of course, brand yourself in the magazine, so that it's you're putting, your brand there. And as Sheila even said, you can even add your own experts in different ways there as well. And on top of that, she's going to give you exact social media content to film and produce for yourself. So it comes from you. She's going to tell you exactly what to say, how to do it. You literally follow the instructions, and now you're putting out content on social that nobody else has.
Yeah. And let me give you an example of how this works, right? So I have this agent, Terry Brown. She's a Caldwell Banker agent in Atlanta, and she went to her church's jazz festival last month. And she said she got a table, and she was right across the aisle from another broker who had two agents there. And she was like, oh God.
Sure.
And she brought a little house plant with her, and everybody was looking at her like, why do you have a plant? And she had my magazine that was branded to her. And she basically just talked about the home environment and how plants help clean the air and how she really wants to help her clients live healthy. And so basically she shares this magazine that helps you create a healthier home. And if you wanted to join her email list, she would send you the digital copy every month. And she got 25 people to join her email list. I don't know about you, but most people don't want to join a realtor's email list. And so the fact that she got 25 in one afternoon, and then she got a listing 2 weeks later. So that's the power that this vehicle has to just create more conversations and connection with people. It's pretty powerful. And I have another agent who actually she's branding herself as a holistic agent. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I think I've had her on the show before. I had somebody who considers himself the holistic agent. I can't remember their name.
Well, maybe it was Christy Woodford, yeah. But Tori McGee is another one in Atlanta, and she has a great website. And she was telling me, so many people have brokerage websites, or they just have website, and everybody's saying the same thing. Let me find your dream home. She's like, people don't go to agents' websites to look up homes anime. They just don't do it.
They go to Zillow to look up homes.
Right? So you need to have your website be your calling card of how you're different. Like, what are you providing? And if you haven't taken the time to look inward and find out what your differentiating things are, like, you need to do that too. But then also, if you talk about what's trending, the magic is that all of a sudden in people's eyes, you're an authority, you are a forward thinker, you care, and you're not really you don't really have to do anything extra, but already be the connector that you already are and just connect with some different people. And the minute you talk to a business professional that is working so hard to try to create a healthier home for people, whatever that business is, or and you say you're the first realtor that comes to them and says, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Can I share what you're doing on my Instagram?" You've got like a new best friend. And and you're helping out a small business in your area, and you're promoting healthy living, and you're being a forward thinker, and you're being the connector for everything home, and you have a whole bunch of new stuff to talk about with people. So it's just such a win-win all around.
It's a win-win, and most importantly, I think it's what the clients are interested in
Hmm.
anyway.
Hmm.
So I always think about this as an example. I remember, let's just go back 30 years, whenever that was, 30 years, and I never saw an air purifier in anybody's home at 30 years ago.
Hmm.
Like, unless maybe somebody had extreme
Hmm.
allergies and their doctor gave them some sort of prescription for this air purifier that they bought that was this big clunky thing. And then, 20 years ago, Dyson comes
Hmm.
out, or whatever, the big air purifier companies realizing, oh, everybody wants an air purifier.
Hmm.
So, and now most people, I don't know about most people, but a lot of people have them in their homes. This is a thing that people are thinking about.
Hmm.
They're already buying plants for these reasons. They're already thinking about air quality and mold and pollen. And I have cats, and cats, you can get very sick from like toxoplasmosis, and
Hmm.
pregnant women can't be around cats. And anyway, there's lots of things that people are exploring, and with the rise of TikTok and Instagram Reels, people are now getting access to this information at faster speeds. So they're already knowing about this, and you get to be their connector to actually how to make it real
Yeah.
and
I mean,
practical.
imagine. So you're supposed to be cold calling people, right? Or not cold calling, but you're supposed to be connecting with your network every day. And you're supposed to call them. And what do you say? So many agents don't want to do that because it just feels cringy to just keep talking about, the market.
Hey, do you want to sell your home today?
Exactly. Do you know anyone looking to buy or sell? Like, oh God.
Yeah.
But
Oh, the
imagine if you
worst.
knew
The
someone
worst.
who's going to remodel their home and they have a young child that has asthma. Imagine now you get to be the one that says, "Hey, I want to connect you with the Green Design Center because they have a whole bunch of flooring options and paint options that can help you mitigate the VOCs that are going to be in your home, and you'll be able to pick healthier choices so that when your child is rolling around on the floor, they're not getting off gassed in their face with all these toxic chemicals." So you're helping a family live healthier. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting out ahead of things. Instead of chasing leads and asking them, "Are you looking to buy or sell?" You're being their home connector already, right? And people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. So if you've
Yeah.
connected with them and they all of a sudden feel like, "Wow, thank you so much. You just made this wonderful for my family. You just connected me with someone who's going to help my child live healthier or help us live healthier." You are in their circle of trust now. When it is time to sell their house, for sure you're going to get a listing appointment, because you showed that you cared ahead of the "Are you looking to buy or sell?"
I love it. So the magazine is what's the publication frequency? How often are you creating new
So I
issues?
do it every month. And so every month, if you have the digital issue, you get your own URL. You actually get to have a little feature article about there's a place for you to have a coupon or something about your listings in there. And that's just auto updated every month. The social media also is updated every month. You'd go into my portal and you can find it. If you wanted printed issues, we're really flexible on that. You can send them quarterly, you can send them bi-monthly, you can send them monthly. I do take the date off of them. So if you sent them quarterly, they usually will last 2 or 3 months. And I do feel like so many agents have had such success printing them out and hand delivering them from people. Like during the holidays, it's such a good gift to be able to have a conversation instead of just putting your name on a calendar or putting your name on pens or whatever and just sending that out. Wouldn't it be better if your calendar had health, how home maintenance tips for how to live healthier, or just something like that instead, or the magazine, right? So
I love that. So, and you have you have a direct mail version of this as well, where you can actually physically, so people can always subscribe to the digital, they could always print out, and have those available. But if it was me, I'd want to have the print,
Mhm.
the professionally printed, magazine, because it just looks better. So tell us about that as well.
Well, it's a magazine people will keep because it's not like every magazine that you see, right? And so your face gets printed on the cover. Inside, there's a little note that I write, and you can completely change it. Like, I literally send you a Canva template that you can customize, and then you get an
Yeah.
inside back cover template that you can customize. So it's not, you know, I love Reminder Media. They're great. But when I was an agent sending Reminder Media, even though it's customizable, it's limited, right? So when I created mine, I want it to be a little more flexible than that, because everybody's brand looks different. You might want to change the colors, and you might want to completely change the whatever's written there. And so you'll get the inside back cover for whatever you want, and also the back cover. But here's the exciting thing is the publisher that I work with, if you send 1,000 or more copies, we can hyper localize it for you. So we can put your town name on the front. Not only are the addresses exclusive to you, but you can also you can mail some to your sphere and some to addresses you don't know. We can actually, normally it's for 2,500 or more, but if they mention you and they want to sign up and send 1,000 or more, they can get a feature article written about them inside the first issue. So we could literally put their face on the cover of their hyperlocal. And it's such a way to build authority, is having a, magazine article written about you, and you're on the cover. So you're just not, it's not just branded to you, but you're in the magazine.
You know, it's so funny. I was thinking about magazines the other day because I received the Costco Connections magazine, which, for all people who are Costco members, we all get this magazine once a month, and it's literally the only magazine I get. I never look at it, but I always think, because I don't go to Costco that often, and I don't really care, but I do look at it, and I don't really thumb through it, but I do look at it. I see what's on the cover, and then I toss it, and I'm always like, I wonder why they do this. And then it dawned on me recently, because it works. It clearly works. They must know what they're doing. They're not wasting all of this money on this Costco Connections because it doesn't generate business for them. They're not stupid. They're obviously at the top of the wholesale sort of, retail space. That's them. And they publish this printed, magazine. And then I thought about realtors, and I go, who has a printed realtor magazine? And I was like, nobody. The only printed realtor magazine in our marketplace is like a third party company that is just like talking about the industry in general and features, agents and different articles. And it's cool. It's really great. But nobody has their own magazine. And I was like, this is so cool, because it's going to be, look, nobody subscribes to magazines anymore. So this is also going to be something that they notice. It's not going to be stuck between Elle and Vogue and all the other magazines that people, used to subscribe to, that, let's just be honest, they're not anymore. This is something you're going to be sending them. And not only is it, okay, I've got this magazine that no one else has, but it also is something that I actually would thumb through. Why don't I thumb through the Costco Connections? Because it's all the same stuff in Costco every month. It's just not a big deal to me. But I would thumb through this, because guess what? I have 2 kittens now, and maybe there's going to be an article on there on how to keep the home, free of toxoplasmosis from kittens someday, or just here's to how to improve the air quality, so when I walk in, I don't always just smell the litter boxes. So the point is this is stuff that people do care about. They are looking at wellness. I would suspect that almost everybody on social media follows some wellness accounts in some capacity, right? We all follow somebody. I follow a guy called Knees Over Toes, who's a workout guy. So I'm following them. Everyone's following them. This is a way to have your own physical. And by the way, the physical, the physical issues are more expensive, of course. You got to mail them and print them. And you don't have to do this route. You could go strictly digital. I would encourage you to step up, though, and do the physical mailer, because people are going to be, even if they don't read it, they're going to be impressed. They're going to be like, wow, my agent's got something going on. This is really cool. So I'm a huge fan.
And we have such great pricing. If you're sending to 1,000 or more, it's $329 an issue. which is a really good price. But here's the thing. We have a partnership program where if you give us your list of vendors and we can call them to get ads, or, we'll call them and say, hey, would you like some exposure in this realtor's magazine? They wanted us to call you because they refer you a lot. And if we sell an ad in their magazine, we'll split the revenue with them and we'll create the ad, and it helps to reduce the cost of the magazine. So depending on how many ads they get, they could literally get it down to where it's the same cost as a postcard, but they're sending this beautiful magazine. And we like to call the mailbox moment really the mailbox moment. And I think, for years, top of mind used to be a thing. Like, top of mind works for Costco because you go to Costco already, you're already a customer and you're like, oh yeah, I need to go to Costco. And it used to work where it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, I need to sell my house, there's a realtor. But that doesn't work anymore, right? Like, you get so many realtor ones, and you can easily go on Google and find who's selling the most on your street. So how can you be memorable? That's what we like to say. Instead of just being top of mind, how can you be memorable? And if someone sees this magazine and sees what you're putting out there, and of course it represents your values and what you think is important and that you care, you're being memorable because you're providing value.
Absolutely. And the website to see all of the different options, digital and print, healthyhomemedia.com. The pricing is on there as well. And you can schedule a strategy call. But you said something that I just want to go back to, this idea of having partners help compensate or pay for the cost, right? So you could have a lender, an attorney, an inspector. You could have people who want to get exposure, as Sheila was mentioning, inside the magazine, and that could help be how you afford to do the printed material. So, think about if you could get the price down with a few partners who want exposure to, $1 an issue printed, or even possibly, who knows how low it could go. Boy, that's a no-brainer, because as you said, and the Costco connections thing, it's always like, who reads this? I don't know who reads it, but it does remind me, oh yeah, I got to go to Costco soon. So even if they don't thumb through it, when they're likely to thumb through it, but even if they don't, they're going to see, wow, I'm getting this physical magazine from my agent who is clearly into healthy living. And I think that is, again, it's an ultimate differentiator. So I am such a huge fan of this. Where do you see, Sheila, curious, are you seeing any additional trends in the home wellness space that are kind of exciting and, new sort of things that different industries are coming together to work
Well,
on?
I think, when I hear about my, the wellness architect, when she talks about the wellness kitchen, I was like, oh, that's kind of exciting. What's the wellness kitchen? And it's simple things, but it's just about organizing, your kitchen so that healthy things are easily reachable, right? But then also you see like appliances that are coming out. There's a whole new steam oven. So, and there's an air fryer, right? So that you don't have to use that microwave oven that's putting radiation in your food. You could use a steam oven and a convection oven, an air fryer, and you could get wonderfully tasting food that's going to be way healthier for you. You'll notice that designers now, there's eco designers that specialize in getting you things that aren't from overseas and sprayed with all those toxic chemicals like fire retardants, anything that is got extra chemicals on it, you don't want it. Like, I had an interview on my podcast with a got certified carpet person, and she's an interior designer, and she said she sells these organic, beautiful wool rugs that are totally toxin free. And then she says the designers just don't know. And she saw one of the designers who bought this for a client, they're spraying all that Scotchgard all over it afterwards. And then the kids are playing on it. She's like, oh gosh, you just ruined it. She's like, not every homeowner knows about this stuff, but every designer should, right? And I was like, realtors should too, because you're the ones recommending people. And it's not that you need to become a healthy home expert. Just expose yourself to this stuff. Start meeting some new business people and start sharing what they're doing. You're going to learn about it. You're going to be helping not only them, but the people that you're connecting them with. And in turn, we're making a difference because you're helping people live healthier. And I just feel like that's a ripple effect that you can be proud of.
Yeah, and I'll give the audience a quick story of my own. So I was just thinking about this as you were saying that. So about 5 years ago, a friend who was in the real estate industry came and to me just as I say, hey, what's going on with you? And he said, I am starting a magazine for realtors. And I went, a magazine for realtors?
Mhm,
And he said, yeah. And this was like 2018 maybe.
mhm,
So I went, oh, that seems like the world's worst idea. No one reads magazines anymore. And he goes, no, no, no. And he said, it's going to be exclusive. We're only going to send it to the top 500 realtors.
mhm,
And I was like, nobody is going to care about
mhm,
this. And I even said that to him. I go, nobody cares. Like, you're better off just making a digital magazine. And I don't even think anyone's going to care about that. But good luck.
mhm,
I wish you the
mhm,
best. And I thought for sure he's going to fail. 5 years later, the magazine here in our local market, Chicago, is as big as ever. It's just for realtors, and agents are get like steamrolling over each other to try to be featured in this magazine. So people do want physical marketing materials these days, and flyers, brochures, all of that's fine, but really coming up with something unique that actually provides value. What this magazine actually did, this one I'm referencing, why it became successful is because they would interview these top agents.
mhm.
They would learn about how they grew their business. They would provide articles for realtors in there, kind of similar to what we do on the show. And people do read it. I was featured in it once. People read my article, reached out. So I was like, wow, I guess I was totally wrong. And I was. So, guys, please don't think of this as another newsletter. Don't think of it as think of it as a way to really differentiate yourself. And you can get people to pay for this. You can reach out to your vendors and say, hey, I want to do something really cool for all of us. We're going to include you in this, and we want you to help contribute to it so that we can get you more business as well, Mr. or Mrs. Vendor. So I'm a huge fan of this idea. I've never seen anything else like it on the market, and I really encourage agents to. And it's not that expensive, by the way. Even if you're just doing the digital one, it's remarkably cheap. I won't even go into the pricing because it's so inexpensive. I don't want to make it sound like it is so worth so much more than what you're charging.
I
So
wanted it to be such a no-brainer, and I wanted every type of agent to be able to leverage it. So I wanted a new agent who doesn't have a home sale yet to just have it be a no-brainer, to just be able to share the digital issue. And then for anybody who's already doing farming, we want to just have you switch from whatever you're doing and try this instead and make it competitive price-wise, but then also just add more value to our customers who are the agents.
and I do love that story of the agent who went to the church
Mhm,
jazz festival and had these issues sitting on her table and a plant, and then really saying, yeah, so of course I can help you buy and sell a home, but here's what I'm really
mhm,
into
mhm,
right now. And isn't this cool? Would you like to be on the list so you can get these tips and tricks?
mhm.
Who would say no to that? Nobody.
Nobody.
And then you can market to those, yeah, you can market to those people forever.
Mhm.
And like you said, 25, I mean, that's like one of the most successful open houses of all time. If you can get 25,
25, what?
names,
Yeah.
yeah, that's incredible. And so, yes. And by the way, the cost for the digital is, I just calculated it. It's less than 1/4 of 1 month of my gym membership. That's how cheap this is. So this, when Sheila said it's a no brainer, guys, it is a no
Yes.
brainer. Do this before everyone else in your market has these.
Well,
This is
and
when
I
you want to
will
get in.
raise prices eventually, but I'm just keeping it low
You're going to
because,
have
yeah,
to.
I've had the magazine for 3 years, but I haven't, I've been busy building it. So I haven't really done
Yeah.
an exposure sales launching thing. So really, if you get in now, you're just at introductory pricing basically. And when I do raise prices, your price won't go up. You're always locked in. So it's a good time to get in now.
That's amazing. Healthyhomemedia.com is where you go. And we have a promo code. If you use the code REAL50, REAL50, you will get 50%
Oh,
off.
$50.
Sorry,
Yeah.
$50. Yes, not
Yeah.
50%, because you could be making a $5,000 order.
Yeah.
And yes, Sheila needs to stay in business. But $50 off. And guys, that is a crazy, when you see the pricing for this, that is, at least for the digital one,
Yeah.
it's almost free.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and support Sheila. Guys, this is what you're your audience wants to hear about and read about, and it's a way just to make yourself unique in the marketplace. So healthyhomemedia.com is where you go. But if you're not yet convinced, if you're like, I still want to kind of check this out, follow Sheila on social media and actually see what she's putting out there so you can get a sense for whether it would be a good fit for your business. And I can assure you that it will be. But the way that you follow Sheila is on Instagram, Wellness Agents. Agents plural, Wellness Agents on Instagram, and on Facebook, Healthy Home Media. Again, we'll have links to all of this in the show notes. But if you do sign up, please use the promo code REAL50 and you will get $50 off 1 month, essentially. And Sheila, I'm super excited about this. I rarely ever get excited about a product or a service because I don't see a lot of unique sort of things entering the market in the space. This to me is extremely unique. So couldn't be more excited to talk about this with you today. On behalf of our audience, I want to thank Sheila for obviously creating this product and opportunity for agents to differentiate themselves. So thank you for coming on our show to talk about it. And on behalf of Sheila and myself, we want to say thank you to our audience for sticking around to the end. The best way that you can help us continue to grow is to tell a friend. Think of one other realtor that could benefit from hearing this great conversation with Sheila, and send them a link to our website, which is keepingitrealpod.com, or just have them pull up any podcast app, search for Keeping It Real, and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to leave us a review on whatever app you might be listening to us on, we appreciate that. So iTunes, Spotify, wherever, please let us know what you think of the show. And lastly, support our sponsors. They're the ones paying the freight. They keep the show running. Please check them out and support their products and services as well. Well, Sheila, we appreciate your time today. We will see everybody on the next episode. Thanks, Sheila.
Yeah, thank you. Can I say one more thing? Is there time? I just want to give one more free resource. So if you do go to my website and you click on free resources, I have a whole bunch of downloads that are available for you to check out, like conversation starters, workbooks to help differentiate your brand, create your one-liner, all that sort of stuff. And I also didn't tell you, but I am just now going to be launching a new app for your phone. And it's called Boost Your Real Estate Brand. And I literally haven't launched it yet, but if you go, it's available now. So you're kind of one of the very first. And I have a whole free course called The Wellness Advantage, so you can learn about it. And so if you just search your Android, Google Play, or go to the App Store and look for Boost Your Brand or Boost Your Real Estate Brand, you'll be able to see it, and they can download that free.
Awesome. Boost your real estate brand on your app store. Download it, check it out. And Sheila has a tremendous, I'm so glad you mentioned this because I forgot to mention it, because I actually was looking at your free resources on your website. I was like, wow, there's some really, really cool stuff here. She has after closing checklists. What does that mean? Check it out. This is a way to stay in touch after the closing, guys. She has all sorts of cool things, how to brand yourself, green staging ideas, marketing tools, social media ideas. It's all free. So check it out, healthyhomemedia.com, click on free resources and get on her mailing list as well. And most importantly, get that magazine. Let's become the first person in your marketplace to be the wellness agent and wellness expert, and blaze the trail.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sheila, thank you again. We will see everybody on the next episode. Healthyhomemedia.com is where you go. Thanks, Sheila.
Thank you.